We're recording, Simo. Oh, yeah. And this
I
is
gotta get
my
one of those.
singing tune.
I just realized I didn't put my little lip tint on. It's just a little bit. It's just it's like lip chap, but it's got like a little hint of a color. So I'll show you.
If you
There
don't
you
put the
go.
lip chat on, what the fuck are you doing? This show
Just a
is
little bit of
ruined
color,
now.
just so like I
You
look
look
like
like you're
I'm
getting ready to suck
alive.
on a dick.
Always. Don't gotta get ready if you stay ready.
Oh, shit. Too good. Too good. All right, we're going to do this in 3, 2, 1. What are you doing?
Testes in my mouth.
Get on the ground, you fucking pledge!
Ew.
Welcome to the greatest podcast experience of your life. This is the Frat Chat Podcast.
All young men like three things. Food, booze, pussy.
Featuring Carlos Garcia and Chris Moore.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the greatest podcast in the history of podcasting time. It's the Frat Chat Podcast. I'm Carlos Garcia with Chris Simo Moore. How's it going, Mr. Mo?
Yo, what's up, dude? I'm good. How are you?
I am good. We are here. Mr. Mo is on his hot spot this week, so there'll be no delays. If you're watching us on YouTube, it won't look like we're having understanding issues where I just stare at Simo like,
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
T-Mobile Wi-Fi, do better. But yes, we're here. We're looking good. Mr. Simo's rocking his Moonlife tea there. And
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Looking fly, looking good.
I just went to the gym.
Oh, nice.
And I'm eating one of these things. Have you seen these before?
What brand is that?
It's called
Can't read.
RX bar.
Oh yeah.
Is what? But it says
good,
I just
though?
realized it says it has. Yeah, it's good, but it says it has egg whites in it. Can I get salmonella from this?
Oh no. Egg white. I mean, if they're cooked, you're good.
Salmonella tastes good, then I guess I don't know.
I'm sure it's all
That's
baked.
what it is.
Things have egg whites. Egg white's good for the protein, brother.
Yeah, man.
I used to
Trying
eat
to
egg
get
white
swole.
sandwiches. Delicious.
Really?
Yeah, put some egg whites
Ew.
and like I would basically make like a little egg white like tortilla with like grilled onions and peppers mixed into it, and then I would put that in a sandwich with a little cheese, turkey bacon, maybe some avocado. Done, baby. Those were my.
So do you still have a gym membership, or do you just work out at home now?
I have both. I do the gym membership, but I will say now that we're getting, by the time this comes out, it'll just be the beginning of February, I believe. But we're at the end of January here now, the day we're recording this. We're recording this on Saturday, January 28th. And the gym resolutioners are finally making their way out. So I've been starting to trickle back in to my local gym. First few weeks of January, though, I was doing all at home. So fuck that. I'm not going to deal with that.
What do you think about people who take a notebook and write down everything? They write down how much they lifted, how many reps they
I don't
did,
hate it.
how many
Well,
sets.
I wouldn't keep that much detail, but I don't hate it because sometimes I forget what I did. Not so much at the gym, because at the gym you go from machine to machine, so at least I remember I did that. But when I'm at home, sometimes I'm doing stuff. Literally like I don't know, it's good like smoke weed or something, but it's like shit. Did I do 3 sets or 4? Did I do 2 sets or 3? So it's good to like cross them off. You know what you did. You got it all done, and then you can plan your workouts accordingly. Like I remember here, I have it written down Monday and Tuesday. I did these exercises, so now I can do this shit. You know what I mean? So I get it. I don't do it personally all the time, but I totally get it. It's easier to keep track of your shit.
Well, in between like machines that have to wait, I try to keep moving, keep my heart rate up. So when people like do an intense lifting and they sit down and they take time to write real neatly in the notebook, I'm like, you're ruining your workout. I don't know. I think it's kind of nerdy.
I would write it all down beforehand. So it's like, this is what I'm going to do. So then like, if I'm going to do it, then I just do checks, you know what I mean? So it takes 1 second. Like I wouldn't sit down and write a dissertation. But now I'm curious, what are you doing between sets? Are you standing like?
Yeah, I'm
He's got 2 shake weights
jump
at the
rope
same time.
sometimes. Totally. I got 2 shake
One in the
weights
front.
here, and I got a neighbor's thumb on my ass at the same time. So I'm working on the muscles. So I I sometimes take, I don't know what it's called, but it's like a platform with like half of a medicine ball underneath of it,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like wobbly. So I stand on that and I do squats.
Ah,
So it works your core, and it's also, so
yeah, it's
sometimes I
good.
carry that around with me at the gym. Um, I'm very excited because I got this in the mail. I haven't used it yet.
Oh
Have you?
yeah, no, I haven't used mine either. I'm actually was waiting for this particular weekend after we were done with the epic greatest comedy show of all time at Stand Up New York, which we'll get to later. So now I'm gonna fool around with it, get my face nice and done. Now for you, it's gonna be great because now you'll have actual separate shaving devices, so you can stop shaving the shit from your nuts on your face.
No, I'm a little hesitant with this because I don't love anything more than my current lawnmower 4.0, and I use it on everything. I know you're not supposed to, but I just love it so much. So there's a high bar. This does say, this beard hedger says, no half dozen clipper attachments. The zoom wheel lets you choose from 20 different lengths. So there's like a wheel on it, and you can like wind it up
Spin
to
the wheel,
to
baby.
have longer or shorter
Yeah, that's beautiful.
cuts.
So then you
That's
don't have
pretty
to fuck
awesome.
around with the clippings and stuff. And so here we go. You said you're a little hesitant because you're so, you like your 4.0 so much, Lawnmower 4.0. Well, this is like finding out that your celebrity crush or something, or your high school crush has like a sexier older sibling in the family. You know what I mean? And they're actually like the 8. There's someone even hotter in there. You know what I mean? So this is the king of making sure our balls get less nicks and cuts, my friend. So I feel like I
It's
trust
like
my face.
Liam Hemsworth and Chris Hemsworth. So it's like you have a crush on Liam, and then you see
Yeah, yeah.
Thor.
They're
So this
picking
is
Miley
Thor. This is
Cyrus. You're sitting at your wedding and say, "Oh, that's your brother."
by the way, if you hear any screaming in my apartment, it's because Osmario bought us a Nintendo Switch,
Oh, nice.
and we're playing old school Mario games, and he's very into it. Actually, I am too, but I'm not like squealing like a little girl. So
To be fair, we were foreigners. And so, I feel like he probably had access to these games when he was a child and never really did again. So, let the man live. Let him be a kid. You know what I mean?
okay, okay.
Let him dress like
You
a
want to be a
baby.
whiny little bitch? Be a little whiny little bitch.
Let him dress like a baby and then ask you
Pull the foreigner card.
for
I
water
don't
bottle.
care.
Let him ask you to change his diaper and go, I made a boom boom. Let
I
him be
saw
a
this
kid.
prank this lady did. She was like changing her kid, but she took a clean diaper and put like Nutella or something in it.
Mhm.
And then she showed her husband. She said, "Oh my god, look at all this!" And she pretended to fall, and the diaper went on his face. And
Oh,
I just thought that was so funny. And then I saw this other prank on TikTok where this girl has like a little cup of like yellow liquid,
right.
and um she she brings her boyfriend over, and she says, I'm recording this. This is a new trend on TikTok. And she's got a Q-tip, and she's dabbing parts of his skin. And she's like, this is really good for like spot removal or acne. She's like, it's really easy. All you have to do is pee in a cup. And then her boyfriend's like, what? What? And she was like, I came up with this one. Maybe I can be a TikTok celebrity. I just got to think of something really gross. You know, I gotta buy a pack of diapers and put something in it. I don't know.
That is fucking amazing. I made a fake
Do you
poop.
and Julie prank each other?
Not like that. I mostly jump scare her, but I have made fake poop before using a banana, some peanut butter, and some Nutella, and then you like stick it in the microwave for a few seconds, so it gets nice and warm.
Hmm.
And then once you're done
Oh
scaring the
yeah.
person, you can eat it because it's actually delicious. A lot of protein and potassium, brother.
Hmm.
But yeah, that definitely convinced someone it was poop. It was a pledge too. It's like, stick your hand
Oh,
in
really?
there. He like stick it. Ew, what is it? It's shit. And then he's like, no. It's like, I'm just kidding. It's a banana, dude.
I had to fish a banana out of the toilet when I was pledging.
Ah, no, that's shitty. Literally shitty. But no, never fished a banana out of there.
You
Why
had to
is
eat
that?
sardines simultaneously.
Yeah. Well, did eat sardines, but definitely not out of my banana hands. But here's the thing: I grew up eating sardines, so I thought they were delicious.
Ew.
so I totally pretended that I didn't like them. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, these are so gross, but they came in like this like honey mustard dressing that I liked. So like, oh god, I'll do it for the pledge class. Oh god, I'm like eating all this shit, but it's like,
You know, I don't understand. When I've gone fishing with my dad, if you catch a fish and it's too small, this is the law. You have to throw it back. It has to be a certain length to keep it. Yet you can go buy sardines and they're not big enough.
yeah, but they don't grow to be big enough. There's certain kinds of
What?
fish. Yeah, the sardines stay little. It's a little fish.
Oh, really?
It's a small fish. They're just little. They're for taste. Little,
Well, I thought they were babies.
yeah, I feel like there's
I don't
some
know. I'm not like a fish connoisseur.
you,
I don't know.
you don't read the dictionary of fish every day before bedtime.
No.
The World
I licked
Encyclopedia,
some in college and I was like, yuck, not for me.
from Atlantic salmon to cod in 2 easy steps.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh man, yeah, no, salmon, they're very small, and sardines too. They're just tiny, teeny tiny too. And what's the other one? Anchovies, teeny tiny fish, even smaller.
Ugh,
I
gross.
like
You
anchovies.
know, we had to dissect a big fish in high school, and this guy, his name was Chris Mauer, not Moore,
See,
Mauer.
your bitter
And
high school enemy.
no, I didn't really. I mean, I didn't know much of him. I just know he was in the class, and then
He was the other gay kid.
we opened up a female fish, and it had eggs, and
Oh,
he stuck his finger in there and ate them. And he's like, "It's caviar," and we were all like, "Bleh, gross."
to be fair, it is caviar, and they don't do anything to those fish eggs other than scoop them out and serve them to you. You know what I mean? He's totally right. If you go get sushi, they're slicing the fish and putting it right in fucking your plate. But yeah, I don't think I could ever do that. I
But they're
don't
probably
think a
like
fish is so bad. I had to do a frog when I had to dissect fucking, and that was awful. It smelled so bad too. It's like, ugh,
we
I
did a
hate
frog,
frogs.
a fish. We did a starfish.
A
We did
starfish? What the fuck? That's so cool. That's why.
we did a
Why would
so
you
the
do
bottom of
that?
a starfish, all these little like suction things, they're gonads. A lot of gonads. And then we did a baby pig, a cow
What
eye.
the fuck? What
The
kind
baby
of
pig
school
actually
did
made
you
me
go
cry. I'm
to?
not an emotional person, but that made me cry, huh?
Yeah, what kind of school did you fucking go to? These monsters?
Public school in Baltimore.
What the fuck? All we could afford was a frog. You guys, the next step up was human for you guys.
the,
We got a baby
the baby
monkey.
pig looked like a baby.
Yeah. And I couldn't do a baby pig. I know we eat
Oh,
pig,
it
but
made me
like
so
a
sad.
baby pig is like my dream is to own a pig. You know what I mean? And they're so smart,
Really?
dude. They're so
Like a micro pig or an actual like big
a
pig?
micro pig would be good. But here's the thing: it's all bullshit with them. They still grow. Like they get big. They just don't get like 700 pounds, but it still turns into like a 300 pound pig. you know?
Oh, really? There aren't like pygmy pigs?
No, they say like there's that little mini pig thing. It's a myth, which actually leads to people buying them
Oh.
because you get them as a baby, but then they grow and they don't know how to take care of them, so then they have to return the pigs, and the pigs are very smart. They're like humans. Remember this shit. So the pig is all sad and stuff because its papa/mama left it, and it's not cool. So if you're gonna get a mini pig, no, it will at least become a 150-pound pig. At least, yeah.
I want to get a pygmy goat. I think they're so cute and they like jump.
Yeah, coats
I just want to know if I can house train it.
I could totally. The older I get, man, I could totally own a petting zoo. Like I want a duck, I want a pig, I could do a goat, little baby
Mhm.
cow. I saw this video. This dude snuggling and like it was laying down in it's this farmer laying on his farm, and then this like adorable cow who loves him just comes over and just decides to like snuggle up to him. Then they take a nap watching the sunset. It's like, wow, talk about
A
gold.
cow?
Yep, fucking cow. and they were so cute.
They scare me.
Really?
Yeah,
Why did
because
cows
a
scare
cow is basically a bull without horns.
Yeah, but they're so much nicer, and they're not, they're not bred to like. Cows are cool. Like if you ever go by a field of cows, and then if you're driving by like the country and shit, they'll always like stare at you. But if you do like a certain sound, sometimes they get down with it. Like I was like, "Meow," and they
Let me tell you,
hit me back
if
with it.
I was bred to be hooked up to machines to have these suctions suck out stuff from my nipples all day long, then if I had an opportunity to beat someone's ass, I'm gonna beat someone's ass. I don't want that's not nice.
Well, to be fair, it actually feels good for them when they get the milk
Really?
release. Yeah, because that stuff fills up. It's like women. You know what I mean? Their boobs hurt when they have too much milk in them, so they have to pump. So that's when cows get pumped. They're not sitting there so much like every day, like the Matrix and like a tube, just getting drained out. They get pumped right and live pretty good lives for the most part. I mean, obviously, I'm sure there's
Mhm.
awful farms out there. Now it's the slaughter ones that are, even if you live a good life, when it's your time to go, they just stick a thing in your head like, and you just go. But
Now I know this has nothing to do with Frat Chat podcast, but is goat cheese made from goat milk?
yeah, of course. Nah,
How
they
do you
just
milk a goat?
well, you have to make sure it's
The
not a
same way you
male
milk a
goat
cow?
first.
I've been trying to milk a
That's just
Mario,
blue cheese.
you know?
That's blue goat cheese. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. They have nipples. Like, I've never seen a female goat. I guess you always think of a male goat when you think of goats. I guess you know what I mean. But
Mhm.
they bang something. I guess
Well,
just when it comes
on a
time, it becomes it becomes time for a baby goat to become a mama goat. They start to get nipples, and then you just skip, 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 and you put it right in your coffee. And here,
so on a different note, I just
that's
want
one
to
way of
reflect again.
farming. 6 minutes of farming. Oh God.
I just want to reflect on how much I liked stand up New York because as a host, I didn't have to time anything and didn't really have to pay attention that much because the club lights them for me. And I was
Yeah,
like,
so
wow, I feel
great.
so spoiled. And
And
they were like, another drink? You get free drinks. You want more drinks? And I was like,
yeah,
yes,
dude, they
thank
they
you.
were so great. It's such a well-oiled machine, and that's the thing. It's like once you do a show at a club like that, it's kind of hard to go back to the other shitty ass clubs. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be tough
Yes.
to not do that every month, but we'll make it work. We'll be growing the show. We'll be even better, and we'll be back at Stand Up New York, you guys, because this was an epic night of comedy. It just happened this Thursday. I'm still tired from it. It was so fucking good. Everybody kicked ass. Like literally everybody kicked ass. And I know people always like put on Instagram stories like, "Oh, so and so crushing it," when it's like getting no laughs in front of two people. This is
Yeah.
not the case. Everybody kicked ass. It was fucking awesome. The club was awesome.
I had a couple I had a couple old ladies like grab my hand. They were like, thank you so much. Thank you. You know?
Oh,
No
yeah,
problem.
dude.
Normally late old ladies were like, you're the most irreverent, disgusting comedian, and I didn't like any of it. But these old ladies were like, hey.
That was so nice. Yeah.
And I was like, yo, you wanna milk me?
Yeah, usually the old ladies not loving Simo so much, they're writing their sons out of their wills after they hear his material,
Yeah.
just in case they're gay.
And there was a common thread of immigration, which I kind of loved. So there was like a lot of comedians were talking about growing up with immigrant parents and just very diverse lineup. Everyone crushed it. I mean, even though there's a common thread of like immigration, everyone's routine was completely different, and it was just a lot of fun. It was a
Yeah,
great night.
yeah, best
In
night ever.
Chicago is a lot of straight white comedians, and they all talk about the same thing. They say mean
Mhm.
things about ladies, and they talk about like broy shit, getting drunk, relationships, breakups, dating. That's it. That's all you hear.
Fuck all that. That's good show material sometimes, but it's not greatest comedy show material, you guys. because we just had the most epic night ever.
Mhm.
So make sure you follow us on all social channels at Greatest Comedy Show. That is on Facebook. That is on Instagram. And actually, Greatest Comedy 1 on Twitter. Yeah, check it out. We'll be posting more show dates. And you can also go to tiny.cc/Greatest Comedy Show to see the rest of the show dates that we have lined up for the year so far. And no, you won't see Stand Up New York there so far yet because we haven't scheduled it, but we will be back. Oh,
They loved
yeah.
us.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so now on to still funny topics, but just not happier ones for certain idiots. We're gonna move to the idiot of the week, you guys.
Is it me?
Not this time. You've been quite good.
Okay.
You've been on your game these last couple of days. But of course, we're gonna go back south to our favorite place in the whole wide world, America's Wang, Florida, for a Florida burglar. There was a set of them actually, who recently called 911 seeking help moving stolen property. I shit you not. So, according to Yahoo News, 2 people were detained in Florida for burglary after one of them dialed 911 to ask for assistance moving their things, according to investigators. However, after deputies show up to the house, the first they notice that no one's home. Then they thought no one resided there, but after breaking in through an unsecured door, they discovered a male suspect and his girlfriend inside. It turned out to be this couple. They recognized the male suspect as the burglar from the Dollar General CCTV footage that they had been looking for. Apparently, this guy had broken into a store previously, and he was already a suspect in that.
Yikes.
And the female suspect admitted to authorities that she was the one that dialed 911 in order to ask for help moving their things out of the house. That's, quote, note, they were robbing. According to the sheriffs, the suspect also wanted a trip to the airport so they could spend the weekend in beautiful New York City. So I guess they wanted to come to the show. We got this from ESPN.com.
This is from Florida?
Yeah, this is from Florida.
Of course it's from Florida. And why wouldn't it be? So I don't understand. Like, if I was gonna move furniture, I would call like TaskRabbit.
Yeah, right.
Not all cops drive SUVs. Sometimes you drive little cars. I've seen cops smart cars before. How much furniture can you fit in that?
How fucking dumb, dude. I mean, this is definitely either crack or math because weed and coke don't make you this stupid. Mushrooms don't
No
make you this
way.
stupid. You know what I mean? So I have to give it to one of these two of the stupider drugs. Because what the fuck? I mean, you wouldn't call the cops to move anyways, but to move shit out of a stolen house. Like, what the fuck are you doing, man?
Yikes.
Lord.
Well, check this out. I had a patient the other day say that he went down to Florida to watch some games with his kid, and he parked at a hotel, and when he came out the next day, someone stole his car.
Oh.
So I guess the car has some sort of like tracking system, kind of like your iPhone.
Yeah.
So the cops like ran the plates or something, and then they were able to find it. And it was parked outside of some motel. So they recovered the car, and the car had like a bunch of like weed in it, and like just a bunch of like empty bags of like Fritos and things like that. So they got that, and they were able to catch the culprits. And then when my patient was driving back to New York in his car, he said that the phone rang and he didn't recognize the ring, and the culprit left his cell phone in the car. It was like charging. And so he also said that there was no like password to get into it. It wasn't like password protected. So he's like, the whole ride home, my kid and I went through their like Rolodex of friends and family and just pranked them. Said weird shit. Like,
That's
I thought that was so funny.
That's amazing.
He's like, yeah, he inconvenienced me on my vacation, so yeah, I'm gonna fuck with his friends and family. And I was like, that's so brilliant.
He came
Let me
out
give
to
you a
all of his
discount.
friends and family that day.
And that's so funny. It's like, wow, that's really good.
That's
Anyhow,
fucking wild, dude.
so what is on the agenda today? What are we talking about?
This week, Mr. Mel, it's time to have a nice little discussion, you guys, because as you know, we here at the Frat Chat Podcast are becoming your pop culture connoisseurs, if you will. We know a thing or two. We settle debates on greatest movies. We settle debates on greatest songs. We get break up playlists, all kinds of things. So now it's time to move on to reality TV shows, Mr. Mel, because we are from that generation that reality TV became popular in. Yeah, well, Simo's technically from the black and white generation, but we drag him along up here at the Frat Chat Podcast.
Oh my gosh, I thought you meant because I grew up in Baltimore. You mean TV.
Simo's reality TV shows had no sounds. And then Charlie Chaplin beats his wife.
I actually prefer reality TV, I think, as like just my guilty pleasure, because when I'm so stressed with like work or life or whatever, I don't want to think. So reality TV being so brainless, I'm like, nice.
Totally.
Does that make sense?
Totally. Plus, we can say we are experts in reality TV, Mr. Will. We ourselves appeared less than 6 months ago on a nice little TV show called Help, I'm in a Secret Relationship on MTV, which, no big deal, was the 30th most watched show in America that week, baby. That's right, 30th most watched in America. So you can say we know a thing or two about reality TV. So here we are. So we're each going to give you our favorite top 5 here from our list, and it's going to compile a top 10. But here we go. We're going to start from our bottom, so from our number 5, I guess, and move all the way to the top. And then we get to the top, we're just going to pitch our case as to which one we believe is the greatest reality TV show of all time. And then put up a little poll, Frat Chat Podcast, and then you guys can vote and see which one is the greatest one. And we'll find out next week what you guys said. But you'll find out what we.
I'm gonna win. I'm so gonna win.
Oh no, you're gonna lose, dude. You're so beat.
No way, bro. No way.
This is you're beat.
Get your baby bottle ready. And a rag to cry on.
You'll beat there.
Should we start with? Should we start with honorable mentions?
Yes. So I go first with this one because I only saw one episode, but I feel like if I would have seen the whole thing, maybe it might have even made this list because it was pretty good. And then I'm talking about Bad Girls Club, you guys, which I saw while dating my college girlfriend at the time, who was a big fan of the show. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a bunch of bad girls living together in a house, and they decide that shit get crazy. And it's kind of like watching like a prison yard and like a nicer house. You know what I mean? These girls business. They beat the fuck out of each other when shit was. It was all about respect, and if you don't respect each other, it was on. And they all had these giant nails, and it was kind of like watching like a prison gang living with like X-Men or something. They all have funny costumes too. But it was great. Excellent show.
I wonder what the audition is like on that show. Do you think they like line up the girls like, okay, state your case. Why are you a bad bitch? And then they come prepared with copies of police reports and they're like, the following are the hearts I broke. I have a list of 50 men. Or I don't know, like I just wonder how they they probably have a psychologist. They probably use psychology against them. They're like, okay, the following people are definitely gonna get in the fight. So with these personality traits, they're not going to do well. Cast them. That's what I think happens sometimes.
See, for my audition, I would come in definitely wearing some kind of weave, big weave. You know what I mean? The bigger, the better. Maybe like 2 or 3 different colors. Definitely blue because blue's bad girl color. Maybe a one like white one because it's like I'm a bad bitch. And then maybe I'll keep my natural in there as the third. Giant nails. I want to look like Tina Turner and Mad Max 3, the Thunderdome movie. You know what I mean? I kind of want to have that vibe to me.
Yeah.
But then I'm going to basically like talk like the Cash Me Outside girl. Get that
Cash
accent.
me outside.
You know,
How about that?
yeah, how about that? Cash me outside,
How
babe.
about that?
And I'm gonna twerk.
Cash me outside, though.
Every time I say something, like, yeah, cash me outside, out, bitch.
You don't
I'm
know
gonna
me.
twerking. Like, yeah, I'm a bad bitch.
You don't know me.
That's what I would do, and I think I would make it. Just saying.
You know what? My rap sheet alone will score me a spot.
That's right. And you can wear your show outfits with the little bunny ears and everything. It'll be great. You already have
Yeah.
half of it.
Okay, well, I want to say that when I was in college, we scheduled our social life around the newlyweds. And that was with
Wait,
Nick
who's we?
Lachey and Jessica Simpson.
You and your
Huh?
stuffed monkey back there. Who's we? Yeah.
It's right here. And my lips. And then that's a pillow shaped like a penis.
See what Snuggles at.
You know? I do. And so this show has like an iconic moment when Jessica is eating tuna and she turns to Nick and she says, "Is this chicken or is this fish?" And he says, "What?" And she says, "I know it's tuna, but it says chicken of the sea." And he was like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah.
And to me, I was like, "Okay, this is a brilliant show." And I kind of wish they never broke up. I love them together.
You can see
They're a
literally.
hot couple.
They were a hot couple. And Jessica Simpson is whoo. Rah. When she came around the scene when I was a little kid, she made Carlos's pants tighter than the diabetes ever could. Now, when this is, you can see what this is happening to, like the soul is just being drained out of Nick Lachey's life, his body, as he looks at her like, are you serious? He is so disgusted with the decisions he's made that led him up to this moment of being married to this woman with a camera on his fucking face in a very extreme close-up, as he's just like, no, it's fucking fish, you dumb bitch. Starts choking her. I thought it was chicken. And then they have to refilm the whole thing once they give him a Valium. But yeah, that was a great show, honestly. And I think it could have made the list if it would have lasted longer. You know what I mean? If they would have never gotten a divorce. But I really think that was the straw that broke the camel's back. I was like, what the fuck? He just smacked.
You know what? I think Jessica grew up really religious, so I bet that she was probably a virgin until she got married, and she was like, "I had to get married because I want to jump Nick's bones. I want to be boned by Nick." That's what I think.
Well, and she actually, I do believe that she actually kept it till marriage, but that was a big thing back then. You know what I mean? Because Britney Spears used to say she was a virgin, but she wasn't. But Jessica Simpson actually was a goody girl, even though she had the gazangas, as I described, that made my pants extra tight.
And the Jonas Brothers had promise rings, or they were like their virginity rings.
Yeah,
because they wanted to make a commitment to their fans. I'm like, no one gives a fuck.
that
I
was
want to
so
know who you're fucking. I want to see you fucking. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I want a secret video to come out with a big old gangbang.
Yeah, I can't listen to a band of virgins. Don't get me wrong. It's just not, I feel like the Jonas Brothers got some street cred once they lost it, because they're all like 3 feet tall. You know what I mean? And there's the one that's really good.
Really? They're that short?
Yeah, they're really short. And then there's the one that's in Jumanji, who's a great actor. I think it's Nick, who's also, I think he's the best singer of the 3. He's the one doing most stuff for obvious reasons. But they're little guys, small guys. So they gotta get some. You know what I mean? You can't live the small life, the small guy energy, and be a virgin. You gotta do one or the other. Pick a lane, guys. Just pick a lane. That's what I'm saying.
What else do you have as an honorable mention? I don't even want to mention their name, but you can go ahead.
Well, this one I would have. I mean, here's the thing: I'm just not a fan of them, but it wouldn't be a list without mentioning these people, the Kardashians, because they started a reality TV empire that's been around for over 20 years, all from the tip of Ray J's dick to his balls, because Kim just glowed that on tape, and somehow they managed to parlay that into this reality TV kingdom that still exists today. Now they're on Hulu. They left E and they just started right back up where they left off. So, you can't say there's a reality TV list without at least saying the Kardashians are up there. But I'm just not a fan of them. I think there's been moments of the show that I've enjoyed, don't get me wrong, over 20 years, but it's just not for me. I just don't like them too much. Unless we're talking about the
I
Kendall.
think they're all so annoying.
And Courtney's hot, but now she's with Travis Barker, and all they do is like play with each other's tongues and shit. I just, I
I
can't.
think Chloe's
hate
the
when people do
hottest
that.
one.
Who?
I think Chloe's so hot. Chloe is like, to me, like a tall Amazon supermodel.
No, well,
She's
Chloe got
also got
better
the
after
best
all the
humor.
surgery. I'm not getting me wrong. She got. I mean, she looks great now. Don't get me wrong, but it's like that's not what she used to look like.
You know what? They went through a lot in the seasons. Like I think Chloe got a DUI. They've had kids. They've been divorced. They've had a lot of infidelity. Their stepfather transitioned.
Yeah.
You know the stuff with Kanye is super controversial. I mean, it is good television. Very serious topics.
Yeah.
It launched Kendall and Kylie's careers,
Mhm.
and Kylie is a billionaire.
Sorry,
Kendall is a supermodel. She's one of the top highest paid
and I
models at
love
the
Kendall.
moment.
She's.
I think she's gonna come out of the closet.
I hope not. But I
She
mean, it's
just
not good.
looks, just seems like a lesbian to me. Lesbianist
Oh,
Kendall.
oh, we shall see. The lesbian watch
Just,
begins
just
now here at the Frat Chat
it's
Podcast.
very butch. I think that the fashion world could use a lesbian supermodel. There's a couple, but I think they could use
That's
another
true.
one. Why not?
Now, do you think when Kim was blowing Ray J on tape, she was thinking of the future at that moment? She was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna take over the world! Queen of the balls, Kim! I'm gonna be a billionaire!
No,
Do the thing with the
I
tongue,
think
Kim.
she was thinking. I think she was thinking, I hope this dick doesn't wreck the back of my throat so much that my dentist will notice, because my dentist is a really good friend of my dad's. That's probably what she was thinking. All right, so who's gonna start this list? Should you or should I?
You could start. Go ahead.
Okay, so at number 10, I guess, bottom of the list. This one I actually think could have been maybe higher on the list, Survivor, only because it's probably one of the more extreme reality TV shows, and it has lots and lots of multiple seasons. But I do think that the craze, the popularity fizzled out after a few seasons.
Yeah.
Maybe it's still on. I don't know. I don't care. But I remember watching the first one had like the naked gay guy, and I think he won, and he was like backstabbing. And then like I think the second one had Elizabeth Hasselbeck, right? And then ultimately she became host of The View, so really launched a lot of their careers. But I remember Elizabeth Hasselbeck, for example, she lost a lot of weight on the show, and she was so malnourished, and some of her hair was falling out. But it was like so
Ugh.
extreme. They were getting there was like scary snakes and like wild boars, and they had to catch and eat their own food, and they're getting sunburn, and you're only allowed to bring like so many of your favorite items. And that to me was like so ridiculous, because like one person was a chef, so he brought like a fancy knife so he could cook. Great. One girl was like, I'm gonna bring a bongo because it's important to me. I thought, you dumb bitch. It's called Survivor, not like let's sing around a campfire, stupid
Yeah.
hoe. But anyway, it was a
Those
really,
mothers
really big
vibrator.
show at this time.
Zzz. In case they
Totally.
get lonely.
I would have just snuck that in. I would have put it all the way up at me and snuck it in.
Who's
They wouldn't know.
vibrating? Sorry, guys.
Indigestion. It's just indigestion that makes me come occasionally.
Oh, that wild boar we ate. It really did it number on me.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah, Survivor's a good one. It really did launch a lot of careers. Like there was this guy Johnny Fairplay in it who had the afro, and then he ended up being like a reality TV star. But then he actually ended up making a little foray into wrestling too. So I remember it's weird that a show like that has such longevity. But yeah, I agree. I think
I don't remember him. I'm gonna Google him right now. Johnny Fiore.
Johnny Fairplay,
Oh, Fair Play.
I think was his name.
That's his real name.
And
Johnny.
I'm sure he came up with that. Yeah, he was a survivor, Pearl Islands, and survival Micronesia, brother. I think the biggest I remember that show being was when I first came to America, but this would have been like 99, 2000 or so. I remember like people being really crazy about Survivor, but yeah, it's definitely fizzled. But I mean, there's only so much you could fucking do with that show. You know what I mean?
This guy was a wrestler.
Yeah, exactly. But like the whole thing
Ew.
about it was that he was a reality star and he talked shit, but he couldn't back it up. So he was supposed to get his ass kicked. Was the thing.
Okay, okay, I respect that.
So it was good. But then he would get away with it doing dastardly things or cheating and somehow would win at the last second. And then it's called heel heat, as they call it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
People pay money to see him get his ass kicked the next time. That's kind of how they keep going. But yeah, I think Survivor would be a good one. Maybe if I was a little older when it came out, it would have been higher on my list, or it would have made my side of the list. But I don't know. There's just something about it that I feel like by the time I could have gotten into it, it was really fizzled. So, meanwhile, this next one is one that everybody in America, I think, when it came out, had something they could enjoy. And I'm talking about American Idol. And this one had to make the list in the show because, of course, we have a personal friend of the show here with Simo's buddy, Clay Aiken. And I almost made it number 2 on the list, just to be funny, but,
Great kisser. You know what? Number 2, always back to poop. Just kidding. I actually think that you should have put American Idol higher on the list because I think it's still a very popular show, and then they have what, like 20 seasons. I don't know, but I remember how polarizing the final 2 were. You know, it was Justin Guarini and Kelly Clarkson, and then the following season was Ruben Studdard and Clay Aiken. I remember like how split and divided the country was because everyone's so passionate. People stayed up late to vote and to watch the final episode. I mean, it was a big deal.
It-
Um,
absolutely. But I think it's a show that, for example, its best days are definitely behind it. Simon's gone, who, the show, he was already famous behind the scenes, but I don't think he was, worldwide famous in front of the camera type thing. It was more known as a music manager. But his sassy character came to life. But I feel like it's a show that was a good stepping stone for other shows like America's Got Talent, The Voice, and things like that. And I do think are kind of better shows than that because they're a little more varied. But I think that really the best season was the first one. And then after that, it was just kind of like the same. And
it kind of like reinvented Paula Abdul's career.
Absolutely did. And it brought us William Hung. But again, this all could have been accomplished in season 1. Shabang, shabang, oh baby, shagoon, shagoon. That was amazing.
But you know what, though, if we do a quick rundown of the judges they've had, I mean, this is a star-studded show. So obviously, Paula Abdul, we just mentioned that, but they've had Mariah Carey, they've had Nicki Minaj, they've had Keith Urban and Jennifer Lopez.
Sure.
Currently it's Katy Perry, it's Lionel Richie. I mean, these are like amazing celebrities. Steven Tyler. I mean,
For sure.
I mean, they're doing it right.
But now there's so many other competing shows though that I don't think it stands out from the crowd, even though they have all those names. You know what I mean? Like nothing will top that first season for them ever. It was so new and so different. The second season was still massive, don't get me wrong, but after that, I kind of, and now it's just something that people are so accustomed to having it that I feel like it's just kind of there, but it's not. Like I don't remember the last groundbreaking American Idol episode I ever heard of. Do you?
No, but I do like watching the audition rounds. That's what I watch now. I don't really care about
I
who
can
wins.
tell you like a good memory one is William Hung, and that was literally 22, 23 years ago. So
Yeah, I guess so.
put a little.
Uh,
That's why I gave it number 5 on my list because I feel like it's a
Okay.
show that's got longevity, but it didn't give as many moments. Like, for example, some shows that you'll talk about only get better in the later seasons. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like seasons 9 or 10 were amazing. I'll reveal that when you get there. So it's like there's shows that
Ru
get better as they go.
RuPaul's Drag Race is the next on my list, and I think that this is one of the first like queer-friendly shows, and it's become a huge phenomenon. I think that really kind
Oh
of
yeah,
like took the I think it just took America by storm because you have a lot of straight people who actually enjoy this. And
totally.
this was around the time when they had Project Runaway. And although I am partial to Project Runaway because I've done a fashion show for a couple of the contestants and winners. I know Christian Siriano. Um, uh, if I'm being objective, I am more excited about the competitions they do in RuPaul's Drag Race. I think that every drag queen that they have is a phenomenal artist.
Right.
I think I've seen more high fashion ensembles on the runway at RuPaul's Drag Race than I have in Project Runway.
And I think in some ways, shows like RuPaul's are shows like Project Runways, but turned up. So the personalities are bigger, they're funnier, the concepts are more out there. So it's like it's really just a one-up version of a Project Runway. It's funnier, it's better, it's cooler. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like it's like even if you're like the biggest homophobe, you can't tell me that you're not gonna laugh after watching 20 minutes of RuPaul. You can still be like, ah, fuck these people, but you're gonna find something to laugh at during it. So
You know, before the show, we knew of Divine from Baltimore, drag queen, iconic, and we also knew obviously RuPaul, the queen of drag. But RuPaul has single-handedly given a platform to over maybe 200 or so drag queens that if it wasn't for the show would still just be bar hopping and working
sure,
for tips
for
on the
sure,
weekends, you know?
for sure. And it's a show that's made it on a ton of these types of lists. So we're not the only ones just saying this. It's a damn good show. And that's why it also achieved longevity. So Rue, you're killing it. You're killing it, girl. Hey kitty girl. It's all right.
Love that song. My
uh,
favorite song.
Now, for me, on my next one, I'm going to move to Sharon, the Osborne. Like, what is it, Ozzy? Ah, are you drunk again, Ozzy? Oh, you took a piss in the dinner table, Ozzy. I mean, Sharon, fuck you, baby. I love the Osbournes. I thought it was such a funny show. It was really the first foray into a big celebrity family like that. I was going to say American celebrity family, but they're British. But you know, like someone like Ozzy Osbourne had never opened the doors into their lives like this. And it was the first time a crew really got to know a family like that. And it led to other shows too that I like Hogan Knows Best, which was same thing, but with Hulk Hogan's family, and so on and so on. But the Osbournes were hilarious. They cursed a
They
lot.
were the first
They were
family.
funny. Yep. They were the first family. Their dogs were
They
adorable. They
paved the
shit
way.
everywhere. It was a great show. I
Yeah.
I love that show. I
The
would
kids
watch
were
it today.
misbehaved.
Mhm.
Dogs shat everywhere. Their neighbors were horrible. They threw ham over the fence. You know, they just gave zero fucks
Yep.
and just committed to showing a glimpse of their crazy chaotic life. And I think it's brave and amazing.
Genius. It was so goddamn good. And I mean, they're just an entertaining family. And literally, like, watching Ozzy Osbourne fidget around with a TV remote for 10 minutes was fucking funny. You never thought. I heard of that man when he was biting the heads off bats and shit on his shows. You know, that's how I knew Ozzy as the fucking prince of goddamn darkness. All of a sudden, he's like, God damn it, shut it. All right, turn this goddamn thing, shut up. And it's great.
Yeah,
Great. He like transitioned to
he's
like
great.
America's grandpa. Even though, again, he's British, but no,
Did they break up?
I think they're still together. I think so. I'm sure they've had their problems because you
Mm.
know Ozzy is not can't be an easy character to live with. So
Do you think he's um abusing drugs, or do you think he's just burnt out from all the drugs he's done?
No,
Or do you
well,
think he has like Parkinson's? I don't know.
yeah, he has beginnings of Parkinson's, I think, and Alzheimer's, one of the two. Um, yeah, he's definitely on borrowed time these days, but he's still out there. He's still rocking. But yeah, he's definitely. I mean, his lifestyle definitely did not help. But he's also older. He's in his 70s. You know what I mean? He's at that age where things start to happen. So it's a miracle he's still fucking rocking heavy metal at this point of his life. So, but yeah, Ozzy definitely not looking as much as well as he used to these days. So send you love, Oz, man.
Mhm.
I love you, Ozzy, and I love you.
Well, next on my list. Now, I want to just go back for a second and say that RuPaul is such a huge phenomenon that they have something called DragCon every year. I think it's
Oh.
in New York City. It's like Comic Con, but for drag queens. I've never been, but I feel like that would be a really fun thing to go to. And another type of like festival is Real Housewives franchise. They have the I think it's like Real House, BravoCon. Oh, it's called BravoCon. So
Oh,
Bravo is a huge network that's also very gay friendly. But it really, I think that the target market is probably women and gay men. Although
yeah.
there's shows for everyone, but the Real Housewives franchise is huge. So it started with just a show in OC, and I think that the New York branch really put them on the map. And then they had, I think Atlanta. There was a DC one. There was a Miami one. There's the newest one in Salt Lake City. My favorite is Beverly Hills, but
Yeah, I
there's
remember
also
Beverly
a
Hills.
Dallas one. There was one in Melbourne, one in um, Dubai. But it really shows you a glimpse into like how uh, really, really wealthy people live. I can never imagine being that wealthy, but it's nice to see that wealthy people have problems and are kind of horrible sometimes.
Yeah,
So it
that's
makes me feel better
exactly the
about myself.
problem.
I'm like, you know what? Rich people have problems too. Money doesn't solve everything, and they're actually worse off than me, in my opinion. So I'm doing okay.
And that's
But yeah, the
definitely
Real
show
Housewives is huge.
definitely shows you money can't buy you class sometimes.
Money can't buy a class.
And
Money can't
also,
buy a class.
but also Bravo's a sneaky, sneaky fuck because half,
I like instant
at least,
money.
I'm gonna go and go as high as 70% of the encounters I see the Real Housewives have, and every episode I've ever seen, there is like a sea of vodka bottles. You know what I mean? There's so
Oh
much
yeah, they're all
booze.
drunk.
So these women are shithoused, and of course they fucking have feuds with each other. So they literally just stir the pot and put a fucking little piece of lime in it and serve it to them and just let them go at it. But yeah,
I mean,
the same
they've
girlfriend that
had
watched
some.
Bad Girls Club watched the Beverly Hills one, and I watched so many episodes of that. It's hilarious. It's like these trash Karens just going at it.
They've had some really, really notable people on this show, and, like, they've also had some really huge moments, like, for example, do you remember when that couple crashed a dinner party at the White House? And it's
Yes,
on all
yes.
the headlines,
Yep.
and they were the one girl, she was the cast member of The Real Housewives of DC, and it was a really big deal, like, no one wanted to film with her because 'cause they're like, "Ah, we don't wanna get in trouble with the government."
Yeah, no.
And then there was, you remember the guy, there's a movie about Erin Brockovich, and her lawyer is a real person. His last name's Girardi, and his now ex-wife was on. Her name is Erica Girardi, but her show name, because she's also a singer, it's Erica Jane. He was brought up on charges for some really scary things and
Oh.
exploiting people and stealing money, and it's not looking good for him. But there's yeah. But there's a lot of like serious topics at hand. There's drug addiction. There's people going to jail. There's
Go to jail,
family
man.
drama, and
There's a lot of tax
yeah,
evasion. It seems to be a big thread across
yeah.
all the shows.
Like the Beverly Hills one episode is Gigi Hadid and Bella Hadid, their mom Yolanda, who actually did a fashion show and she hosted it, and she couldn't read the cue cards fast enough. So we were walking, and then we are like, should we take our time? And it was just
What
awkward.
are you
But anyway,
talking about over there, Simo? You should know a thing or two about that.
I would never sign up for that. I would never sign up for that. There's been times I've gone on auditions and they're like, okay, we're gonna do a cold reading. I'm like, I'm out. Like, wait, what? Like, I can't.
There's
Sorry.
reading involved. I'm out of here. Fuck
Yeah, I
this.
can't do that. My bad. But Yolanda, she really gave a platform for Lyme disease, and is it Lyme or Lyme's? Is it Lyme's disease? That doesn't
I think
matter.
it's Lime. I don't
But
think
they really like.
for a guy. I think it's just Lime. You know.
Well, that's one of my favorites. Okay, what's next on your list?
Simo loves Lyme disease.
Yeah.
This podcast is sponsored by Lyme disease. Do you know why you're feeling away? Go see your doctor. It's Lyme disease. Okay. So this next one, I have to say, it's probably the first reality TV show I ever saw, and I came to America.
Aside from the news, right?
I guess so, you know. And even that, you know, how much reality TV is that?
I know.
I see you, Fox News. But everybody knows. What you gonna do? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Oh, yeah, yeah. I don't know the words, but Cops, baby. That was such a good show. I remember I couldn't even speak English because I was a little kid vacation in America, and it was always on at like 2 a.m, whatever hotel I was
Yeah.
in. And I was just like threw in and just see these like crackheads getting pulled over, like, oh, hey man, have you seen my son Jeremy? What? No, I'm not doing anything, man. And he's just these glassy-eyed people, and it's like, wow, what's wrong with these people? Oh, they're on meth. What's meth?
Mhm.
Have you seen my son Jeremy? And he's just talking to a tree. And it's like, get him! Ah! And they just police brutality of this man, and you're like, get him, cops! And they always said like the people you're gonna see on this show are presumed innocent until proven guilty. And then the next like, get him, you guilty son of a bitch! And they're tasing him in the neck. Like, ah!
And I feel like it was always based in like middle America. I feel like it was always like the whitest of white trash.
Always.
It was actually like I feel like there wasn't a lot of diversity in the show. It was always just
There's a lot
like
of white people.
white trash meth heads.
That's true.
Always.
That's true. Actually,
You know?
next time I see like a racist going about like minorities and crime rates, I'm just gonna show them a season of Cops. Just be like,
Totally.
tell me what you see here.
Absolutely.
Tell me what
And-
you see here.
I always wondered like if you were going to be part of if you're on the show and your face isn't blurred out, that means that you signed
On a release.
a release.
Yep.
So I wonder if that was part of like their bargaining. Like, listen, we're doing a show, so if you sign this release, then we will take that into consideration when you're sentenced. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
I wonder if there's some sort of because they don't have to sign that. You know?
Or they say something like, you know, we have you on the show. You're probably gonna go to jail thanks to this. But rather than paying you a fee, we'll like cover you a better attorney than some asshole that you would get for free. You know what I mean? Like
Maybe there's got to be some sort of deal that they worked out.
I'm sure.
I don't know.
Or people would just do people, especially back then where, you know, social media wasn't a thing. It wasn't that hard to get it wasn't that easy to get your 15 seconds of fame, your 50 minutes of fame. These people were excited. Some people would get arrested like, hi, mom. You tell that teacher say I'd never be worth shit, that I'm on Cops. Yeah.
Okay, so I definitely remember the what you wanna do. I mean, that theme song is iconic, but do you remember this? Flavor Flav!
Yes. Who can ever
Flavor of Love brought us.
love?
Is it Tiffany Pollard? Is that her name? I Love New York. There was also a Rock of Love. So I think that a lot of these dating shows, I don't know what came first, this or The Bachelor, but I definitely prefer this. I mean, VH1 definitely had their fair share of like amazing reality TV shows.
Totally.
I think that there's 2 seasons of Flavor of Love. There's 2 seasons of I Love New York, and I also think there was 2 seasons of Rock of Love, and I wish there were more. There was also like
And
I
there was
remember
a
Monique.
celebrity show that Flavor Flav was with Bridget Nielsen, and their love.
Surreal Life.
Yeah, there were weird love affair.
hmm
It's kind of what led to the Flavor of Love once they broke up.
hmm
Yeah, they had a streak of fantastic reality TV show years. I don't know why they don't anymore.
I don't know because I mean if they brought back I Love New York, I would plan my week around it.
Well, how old is New
I
York
love
now? To
that.
be fair,
I don't know. She was on like a Celebrity Big Brother, and I was like, she's still like she to me is like the queen of reality TV, hands down. I think that when I think of reality TV, like if I could put a face to it, I can't put the Kardashians. I don't think that they're dynamic enough of a personality. It has to be Tiffany.
She's
I love New York.
41, so she could still do another season, like another her. I don't want to call it her last shot at love because that sounds like people in the past can't get it together, which they totally can. I just mean like eventually, now when she hits like 45, no one's gonna want to watch her fucking try to get a boyfriend. It's like, all right, girl, you're on your own. How many seasons of this can we put up with you? But they could definitely, there's especially nowadays in the era of social media and YouTube, and there's so many and I don't want to say this is any insult to any celebs, but any like B level celebs that are not necessarily super famous, but there's so many out there that are still great and can be super entertaining that you can just put them together. And I don't know why they stopped. And it's super cheap to produce. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't know. VH1, get back on that.
Well,
Yeah.
Lisa Rinna just got fired from Real Housewives, so she's available.
There you go. There you go.
Let's start with her.
You could do like an island of celebrity house misfits, which I think people who've gotten fired from other reality TV shows and put them together and see how that happens. See what happens there. You know what I mean? You can have girls from like Teen
Yeah,
Mom
totally.
to those shows, and they're all like
Oh
the
my gosh,
shitty
Teen Mom
people.
was another great one.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
I thought about that on my list. I thought about that. I thought about the Anna Nicole Smith show.
Anna Nicole. She's overdosing.
Oh, jeez. She's like, Howard. She's like, you want to put me. And she's like, Howard. She's like, I pissed in the fridge again. Howard, come clean this up.
Explosive diarrhea in the taxi cab again.
I want to masturbate. Man, I miss her. I loved Anna Nicole Smith.
I miss her too. She was hilarious.
Do you like my body?
Trim spa, baby. Now, what was OJ Simpson's wife's name? Was she also Anna Nicole?
She was Nicole Simpson. That was just Nicole Simpson.
Oh, okay. Sometimes I used to get their names mixed up. Very different people. Famous for very different reasons.
Yes, though both not around anymore. So
correct.
But Nicole Brown was
y'all light a candle. Okay, what's next on yours?
Oh God. You could say they were both famous for going under the knife. Oh God, no, I'm going.
That's something I would say. Wow, I'm a bad influence.
You ruined me. Oh God, I'm definitely gonna have to put this on the apology list at the end of the year. Just don't forget Carlos. Woo! Okay.
Yep. Let's start the apology tour now.
Yeah, got to take a victory lap. Oh man, that was good. That was good. I'm proud of myself there. Okay, for my number 2, this is one that basically combines all the elements of like your traditional. Let's put people in a house, see what happens. But here you're combining it with ass kicking. And chops and punches and fucking spinning heel hooks and fucking submission holds and arm bars and Kimura locks. Of course, I'm talking about The Ultimate Fighter, which actually is a UFC TV show, reality show that launched the careers of many UFC Hall of Famers today, including the one and only Nate Diaz, who's the fucking man. He goes around giving people Stockton slap and shit. Great show. But basically, the concept is you would have two UFC fighters who would coach two teams. And basically, the teams would live in a house together, and then we'd dick around, get to know each other, blah, blah, blah. And the winner of the show, each week you would have like different fights and people would get eliminated according to how they did, if they won or lost. At the end of the show, the winner would get a contract to the UFC. So you saw some bad motherfuckers on that show. Michael Bisping was on that show. Great show. But yeah, the thing is, there was so much real heat between the coaches that oftentimes led to some crazy matchups in real life after the fact, or sometimes even fights in the show. Like, who is it that Chael Sonnen fought?
I don't remember this. So this show is on the UFC channel?
It was on USA Network. But here's the thing. Yes, USA Network. It was a preempt. It would go right after WWE Raw. But at the time that this show came out, the UFC was actually struggling financially, big time. It was not even sure if they were gonna keep going. But the show made it super famous and literally made it blow up. And afterwards, literally the UFC can thank this show for making it as popular as it did. People got invested.
Were they looking for the next gay wrestler, or were they looking for like an MMA champion?
An MMA champion, essentially. Literally, it was so you put these fighters who are, like amateur fighters at this point, but people who are up and coming in their craft, and you would give them each, a pro fighter coach. And so they would coach them, and hopefully they improve and they get better as the season goes, and they can win the fights to stay in the show. And then it would lead to a fucking face down fight between the two people left, and the winner would get a contract. And sometimes the fights were so good that both of them were awarded contracts, but usually it was just one that went on. But I mean, it was a wild show because it's like you have these dudes who, they're not. So you have the competitive spirit of athletes in different sports as it is, but these dudes literally have to kick the shit out of each other. You know what I mean? So it's just these like alpha males in a house all eyeing each other. And, some of them aren't that smart. Some of them are, and some of them know that it's entertainment. So they become like bad guys on the show to antagonize others, but it starts picking on them. So you just have all these combustible elements going on at the same time, that anything could happen. And so it's worth a watch if you've never seen it.
I've never seen it. I'm not familiar.
Yeah, it's been around for a while. I don't know if they still do episodes of it, but it definitely made it at least 10 seasons. But yeah.
Do you have any gay contestants?
I'm sure there's gay fighters out there, but
I don't know. Are they openly gay on the show? I don't know.
Probably not. Probably not. But yeah, it's
this is a show that's probably more popular south of the border. I mean, well, in the southern states.
Not really, because New York is a big fighter area. You know what I mean? Some of the biggest fights ever took place in Madison Square Garden, and Madison Square Garden does well for UFC. So, and places like New Jersey and shit like that are big UFC states. Yo, bro, did you watch the fight?
All right, so now we're in our final two. And so we have to give a really good reasons why we think ours is the best.
Ours is the best, correct? And then the listeners will let us know who they think is the best. We'll put up a poll on our story once the episode comes out. And we'll keep track.
Listeners, please pay close attention. I think you should be objective when you cast your vote, because none of these reality TV shows would even exist if it wasn't for the real world paving the way. Oh. And the show that Carlos is going to say next is, as far as I'm concerned, a copycat of the real world, but with white trash.
Whoa!
And,
your honor.
The Real World has had a gazillion seasons, and there's been a lot of copycats on top of it. I think that reality TV started really with The Real World. I remember watching it in New York and in San Francisco, in Seattle, and I mean Chicago. It was very iconic for me, and I just think that we owe MTV's Real World a lot of credit for everyone else that's on the list.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead, ladies and gentlemen, and give Simo this. Without the Real World, there isn't much reality TV. It's true. Without the Real World, in fact,
Mhm.
you wouldn't even see the show that I'm about to bring up as number one on my list. You wouldn't. He's right. But here's the thing. The show that I'm going to talk about here, which is the greatest reality TV show of all time, is, in fact, The Jersey Shore. And The Jersey Shore is not a copy of The Real World. No. It's just a show that takes elements of it, of people living in a house, seeing what things could happen, and simply makes it better. They brought funnier characters, better, more entertaining people that you wanted to keep watching, to the point that those same people are still on TV today. Going on, 14, 15 years later on Jersey Shore Family Vacation, which is still huge. I actually just came back this last week while we were rocking at Stand Up New York. The Guidos, the fist fighting, the thumping, the pushing, the over drinking, the problems they had, the personalities, the fact that these guys were bros, the GTLs, the catchphrases, the t-shirt time, the fact that you were a little bit of ashamed to actually put yourself to tell people that you were watching this show, but you couldn't help it because it was so fucking good. And the fact that I literally took that show, which Julie had never seen, and literally 2 years ago showed her season 1, and it was still fucking good to the point that she's now hooked on it. It just tells me it's a better show these days, ladies and gentlemen. This list is what is the best show, and why I can recognize that The Real World is a damn good one, and that it paved the way for this one. This one's just better, ladies and gentlemen. This one's just better. This one's funnier. This one's more entertaining. These characters make you come back for more, which is why they signed on for those big TV contracts to get paid all that money. Not the Real World people. They have
Because there's nothing else they can do. They can't do anything else. I'll be honest. Okay, let's see. JWoww has her own brand of tanning lotions. Snooki has a family. Good for her. The Situation had the Situation had his own action figure, and then he did some jail time.
And he's the cornhole champion now, brother.
And then let's see, Pauly D is a successful DJ.
Yeah, he's before the show. He's killing it.
But I will say that The Real World has not only had more seasons, there's more influential people that have come from the real world, whether they're actors or they're fitness gurus or top radio show hosts, you name it. But also, the Real World spawned Road Rules, and then Real World Road Rules challenges, and the Real World cast members used to go.
Those are different shows.
The Real World cast members used to go to college campuses to talk to students about like real life stuff. And I don't know if Jersey Shore has ever had any sort of outreach.
Actually, Mike Situation talks to people because he himself was on drugs and hit rock bottom. So he actually does quite a lot of inspirational, motivational speaking work, and donates a lot of money and raises a lot of funds. Yeah, that's right. Because you were too busy thinking it was a lesser show. But no, damn it.
I think that Jersey Shore might be your favorite show, but I think objectively it's not the best. It is what it is.
And it's a facto reverse card here. Uno reverse card. I think that you just love real world so much that you just can't get over the fact that there's a new tiger, a new young buck in town. Rawr. Roll, old man.
Well,
Jersey Shore is better.
The difference between us is that I'm able to look at things objectively, and if I had to pick my favorite on the list, it would be Real Housewives of
Oh.
Beverly Hills.
Well,
But
technically,
I'm
my
thinking
favorite
of
on the list would be, which is not. Well, I guess my favorite didn't even make the list because it is Hogan's Knows Best, but that's not the best. So I know Hulk Hogan's literally right behind me here, brother. As I say this, look at him. He looks sad now. He looks upset with me as he rips off his shirt. He's very angry. Look at him. He's mad as shit there. So what are you doing, brother?
Brother!
What do you mean
Brother!
you're picking your top 5, dude? You set up your favorite. What you talk about, dude? Ah!
you know what? If he was really here in real life, you know what he would say? Probably something really offensive to black people.
Oh no!
If that's your favorite, you go for it.
Oh no! he was going through a tough time in his life. That's not the Hulk
I,
Hogan we all knew and loved, brother.
his son was in a really bad accident. His daughter is an Amazon woman who had a failing music career, and his wife left him for a younger man.
Oh God! I
Tough
guess
times.
that's always going to leave a black eye on his reputation.
Mhm. Ooh.
So, on that note, let us know what you think. Actually, closing arguments is just random. 2 quick sentences as to why the listener should pick the Real World, and I'll do 2 quick closing sentences on Jersey Shore, and then we'll leave it up to them and close us out.
The Real World is the OG of reality TV. And again, there'd be no reality TV without the Real World. And the Real World has had multiple seasons and has promoted multiple reality TV shows of similar structure. So you have to leave it up to MTV for creating a international phenomena.
Okay. Now, I'm going to say just because something has been around longer doesn't mean that it's better, which is why Simo's not a better singer than Miley Cyrus, even though he tries and tries in the shower. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So it's not
Debatable.
it's not the Jersey Shore's fault that it's a younger show, but it's simply this list is what's better. And this show takes that formula the Real World started, which yes, I give the Real World all the credit in the world as the OG, and just makes it better, perfects it, tweaks it, makes it funnier. And that's why those cast members today are still signed on to the big bucks to be on that show because America wants to see them. I don't give a fuck what season 1 cast members are doing in the Real World, and neither do you. Neither does Simo over there, even though he tries to convince you otherwise.
It's a one-trick pony.
Exactly. Yeah, they're one trick.
It is,
The
Jersey Shore is a one-trick pony.
Baby. So,
I get it. They drink a lot. They're trashy.
Oh, this is my
They
closing
sleep
statement.
around with-
Goddammit. This is my closing statement. So, yes, the Real World is good. It's a great Clay Aiken. It's a great number 2. But the Real World is just a little, or the Jersey Shore is just a little bit better. Hey, if you
I'm gonna tell him you said that.
and if you believe me, people, then follow us on all social channels and let us know at Frat Chat Podcast because it's T-shirt time. And the cabs are here. And we're going to go ahead and put a poll on the minute that this episode goes live. And you have 24 hours to answer. I'm going to compile your votes and we'll let it up to you. And me and Simo are not even going to vote in it. You already know where we stand. So this is all comes up to you. Follow us on Instagram. Check out our story at Frat Chat Podcast. But also follow us on Facebook at Frat Chat Podcast and on Twitter. Give us a follow as well. Me at Carlos Does the World on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, on YouTube as well. At Carlos Does World on Twitter. And follow Mr. Simo over there at chris.moore.comedy on Instagram and TikTok. And at C More Comedy on Twitter. Oh, yeah. Or actually, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That still shocks me how close that is.
I got balls.
He just pulls them down when he does it. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, you guys, let us know what you think. which one is the greatest reality TV show of all time. And Mr. Mo, get us out of here.
I motion to adjourn this meeting because I'm going to go watch Real World, bitches.
And I'm going to watch some Jersey Shore because they're still putting out great content. So we'll be back next week and we'll wait for your decision. See ya.
Ciao.